Something struck me very strongly this morning, and it's about the why of the level of rage, narcissistic rage, that the consultants felt, knowing that their victim was coming back to the unit in 2017, was due to be coming back after being sent away to the island of lost souls, as Jayaram terms it. Not only did they blame all their failures and the general failures of the unit on Lucy Letby, but in the interim they'd also been criticised by the RCPCH formally, and in the interim the unit had been downgraded to a level 1. Now the nature of these narcissistic bastards was then to magnify their animus, their hatred towards their victim, and blame their victim for the downgrading. The idea that they'd had to apologise to their victim and then accept their victim back on the unit which had been downgraded, which they felt very keenly had a terrible implication on their level of skill. And let's remember here that the COCH neonatal unit was originally a level 3 unit. Then there'd been this restructuring, and that was before Lucy Letby started, and it was reduced to a level 2. And then it was a level 1. Can you imagine how these narcissistic freaks, this group of consultants, felt about that? How they took that as a personal slight, even though they're right at the centre of the cause of it. And the person they blamed for the unit failures, for their own failures, for their own lack of input, for their own lack of care, that person they had exiled was coming back, and they'd had to apologise to her, and was coming back to a level 1 unit, and they felt that they had the skills and the ability and should be treated as experts that should be part of a level 3 unit originally. They'd had to suffer, in their eyes, that drop to a level 2. And now, and the person they blame for this is the person that they scapegoated. The unit had dropped to a level 1. And they saw themselves as being utterly demeaned by that, even though they're intrinsically involved in the cause of that, these consultants. And so the idea for them that Lucy Letby, their victim of their bullying, who now, to add to the things that they blamed her for, was coming back to a level 1 unit. They could not brook that. They could not stand that idea. And none of that's going to be made explicit in a document. But it will certainly probably be in their personal communications on their stupid WhatsApp group or whatever that we'll never have sight of. We've been downgraded, and look where we are now, and it's all her fault, and we've had to apologise to her. This is how victimization works. The victim is then further blamed for the result of what happens to the victimizers. And so they have to make it worse and worse and worse. And then they go for the nuclear option. And then that scumbag, Jayaram, lies to the police, and all the scumbag colleagues, his gang of 4 or gang of 7, everyone that received that email, all know about the lie, so they're all complicit in the lie regarding baby K. They're all perverting the course of justice. The fact the police won't do anything about that now that they know it, and I think they knew it all the way along, shows that they're perverting the course of justice. The CPS are perverting the course of justice. The whole thing is a perversion of the course of justice. But back to this idea of the downgrading and the critical report from the RCPCH. The rage that these narcissistic freak shows had towards Lucy Letby then, and having to apologise to her, meant that they were absolutely going to go in for the kill, whatever it took, whether it took lying on a grand scale about all sorts of things. They would do it. They would do it. And they did it. Very, very, very dangerous people.